wouldn't know. I would hope it's not money, honestly, because I really don't want anything from you. If it wasn't, just to know my identity. If it wasn't, if you didn't want a relationship with me, that's cool. I can respect that. But we could have been got this over with, and I just feel that my mom, since she's gone now, like she had to fight.
People are desperate and willing to do anything to get a headline that detracts from the fact that that man, that her husband, who has been denying is his child for many years, is about to finally get that DNA result that everybody has been so desperately waiting for.
He has a past that you can't undo. You can't undo like him allegedly courting young girls that were way younger than him underage. Like all of this has to come out, and it's like you just keep trying to stuff it in.
Jay-Z just got hit with the one thing he's been dodging for decades, a leaked DNA test. Rymir, the man who's been claiming for years that Jay is his real father, just put the proof out there, and 50 Cent, he's co-signing the whole thing, loud and messy. If your ears been down to them streets, then Rymir Satterthwaite's story ain't new. Dude been out for over a decade claiming that Jay-Z is his father and asking him to take a paternity test, which Jay refused to take. Rather, he accused Rymir of harassing him for years with court processes and filings. But looks like Rymir ain't backing down. Word is, Rymir has gotten an indirect DNA test confirming Jay-Z is his father, and now Rymir is teaming up with 50 Cent, who has shown support to leak this DNA result. And Jay-Z is already panicking. Why? Because if the results leak, it could confirm years of allegations labeled against him of being a PDF. According to Rymir, his mother Wanda was just 16 when Jay, who was in his 20s, got her pregnant. And if that's even halfway true, it paints a really dark picture of Jay-Z.
So how old was she when you were born?
15 going on 16.
Now, how old was Jay-Z at the time?
I think like 22.
But 15 and 22, damn.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Now I can kind of see why he's probably not claiming it, because it looks bad on his reputation. You can't undo kids. You can't undo like him allegedly courting young girls that were way younger than him underage. Like all of this has to come out, and it's like you just keep trying to stuff it in.
Now, before Rymir's mom, Wanda, passed, she was loud about Jay being Rymir's father. According to her, she met Jay-Z in 1992 when he picked her up in Philadelphia and brought her to his apartment in Brooklyn. Said they used protection, but it failed and she became pregnant. Now that revelation fueled Rymir's quest for answers, especially after he discovered through a DNA test that his mother's longtime boyfriend, Robert Graves, listed on his birth certificate, wasn't the father. Rymir said he had removed Robert's name last year as he wasn't his biological father.
The person that my mom was with, it was Robert Graves. He was on there before they took him off when the testing came, and they asked him and Sean to take the test, and he came up and faithfully took it, and took the test with no problem.
Wanda allegedly claimed she had only been with Robert and Jay-Z, so if Robert wasn't the dad, it left only Jay-Z. And folks saying Rymir does look a lot like Jay-Z. Wanda even tried to hold Jay-Z accountable by filing a civil lawsuit for child support, but it was dismissed. Now, this is where it gets even messier. Wanda insisted until her dying breath that Jay-Z was Rymir's father, and folks believe that the stress and frustrations Wanda endured because of Jay-Z might have contributed to her untimely death. And over the years, there have been accusations of corruption, cover-ups, and legal misconduct, which have added fuel to the fire. Now, Rymir has stated repeatedly that he doesn't want money from Jay-Z. He just wants the truth.
So it's not like you're trying to collect any money.
That's why I said this for years. Like, I'm good. Like, of course, anybody would want more money. Who wouldn't take money? But I'm good where I'm at in life. I got a great job. I'm driving Mercedes-Benz. I'm taking care of myself. Taking care of my kids. So
Rymir also been loud about the injustice he and his mother faced for years. Said the court kicked out the filings because Jay-Z ordered them to, because he's got power and control.
So tell me how the lawsuit came about, the paternity suit came about. Like when did you initiate that?
Well, my mom initiated it. She basically, I guess she started in 2011. They threw it out.
According to Rymir, Jay-Z used his wealth and influence to avoid accountability, abusing the legal system. He accused Jay-Z's legal team of sabotaging his case, resulting in what he calls a lack of fairness in court. Now, folks are asking why Jay won't take the test since he claims Rymir ain't his son. What's he really hiding? As y'all probably know, Jay barely managed to avoid going down with his friend Diddy after one of Diddy's accusers claimed Jay and Diddy R-worded her when she was 13. Now, the woman accuser later agreed to drop the lawsuit, but it looks like this case still isn't over. She actually just came forward saying she never took back her original accusations against Jay and Diddy, and she says the only reason she dropped the lawsuit was because Jay allegedly sent private investigators to intimidate her. But here's what's really sketchy. Most media outlets didn't even touch this new development. Now, you already know sites like TMZ and Shade Room aren't allowed to post anything negative about Jay-Z, and you can go check it out yourself. Check their websites for the Rymir story. You won't find a thing, even though this case been trending for years. But these major celeb news outlets are acting like it doesn't exist. Same thing happened with the Jane Doe situation. None of these outlets said a word when just last week a judge tossed out Jay-Z's defamation case against attorney Tony Busby, the dude Jane Doe. So yeah, it's clear a lot of shady stuff is being kept quiet, and Jaguar Wright been loud about this whole mess. She's dragged TMZ. Jay-Z said he's trying to cover his dirty tracks, tried to slow down the headlines of Rymir getting the DNA test confirming Jay as his father.
People are desperate and willing to do anything to get a headline that detracts from the fact that that man, that her husband, who has been denying is his child for many years, is about to finally get that DNA result that everybody has been so desperately waiting for.
And of course, Jaguar sure didn't stop there. She said Jay-Z been denying Rymir because he knocked up his mom Wanda when she was still underage.
Wanda was a minor when she got pregnant with Rymir. And like Wanda always said, he picked her up in Philly, but he took her to New York across state lines to bed her while she was allegedly underage. She got knocked up in 91. He was well into his 20s by that time. Well into his 20s. Allegedly taking teenage girls over the state line. He got unlucky, that contract broke. Poor guy. Or maybe that was just karma. Maybe God made sure that happened for a moment like right now. Disgusting.
Jaguar has also talked about Jay's control over the legal system, allegedly bribing judges just to avoid taking the paternity test.
And turns out now, all of these judges were bought off and paid off, and they're going to be looking at sanctions and probably charges.
And now, 50 Cent, who's not scared of the industry, is supporting Rymir. He's recently clowned Jay for dodging that DNA test, and now it's being reported that 50 actually reached out to Rymir and offered to back him up to leak the indirect DNA results. 50 Cent also posted this cryptic message on Instagram saying, "A good lawyer knows the law, a great lawyer knows the judge." Now, this changes everything. Up until now, Rymir's case has been completely ignored and buried by mainstream outlets. But now that 50 jumped in, Jay's team is scrambling. They're panicking, trying to kill the whole lawsuit fast and throw dirt on Rymir's name before the story blows up. Word is, Jay just filed new court papers begging the judge to toss out Rymir's case. In the docs, Jay's crying that this is just more of the same so-called harassment he's been dealing with for years. But folks ain't buying it, straight up asking Jay to rather take the simple test and prove Rymir wrong than burning thousands on legal fees. One dude hit hard saying, if Jay-Z has nothing to hide, take the test. Another wrote, Jay-Z doesn't believe in accountability, while this other dude came cold saying, if his mother was 15 years old and was taken from one state to another state, someone gonna be in trouble. So what y'all think? Is Jay really hiding something? Should he finally man up and take the test? Could Rymir be telling the truth? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, because this story is far from over.